something of an idea of how it goes down.
All right. Well, he's ready. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the show, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Pre-show, getting us hyped up, ready to go. Um, and here we go. There he is. There he
Howdy,
is.
Raw. How are you doing?
Welcome, everyone. It's the Lifestream, number 7. Oh, how the time flies. It is our 7th episode. Good to see some... damn, Daniel's already cheers to me. There's a cheers.
7 consecutive Raw having to just go nuts on the beer. Some things never change.
Yeah, my liver is hoping this becomes bi-weekly. But I'm not alone. I'm with Bl'Artagnan. Bl'Artagnan, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing quite well. I just came in from a walk as I was sitting on the pre-show. Hello, Dane Jr. and Eamon. Jeez, everyone rolling in. We just came in from a nice little walk outside. It's a bit muggy, but I'm enjoying it. And I had a wonderful weekend because my wife has passed by the perpetually nauseous stage of pregnancy, and she's now entering into the craving stage. And so she said, "Blart, bring me the best pancakes in New Jersey." And so on Saturday and Sunday, I crossed county lines for us to visit not one but two of our favorite breakfast places in the state, and that was just tremendous.
You
Um,
you took your pregnant wife to 2 different breakfast places because she was really craving pancakes. If anybody had any questions about Blart's character, which you shouldn't because of the way he interacts with our community, wow. I mean, what a legend. How'd that go for you, Blart? Was it good?
it was tremendous because, in addition to having fantastic pancakes, both of these places have a variety of other exquisite breakfast options. And for some reason, both times we just happened to show up right before a crowd got in, so we were seated. There was no wait. It was kind of like the stars aligned and was like we're getting these breakfasts. So it was a wonderful and delicious weekend. How about you? I know you were in your element. The photos I saw
Ooh.
were to be believed.
Ooh, yes. I had probably the start of the best time of the year. Fall is coming, and if you know Raw Life, you know my life revolves around obviously my children, my beautiful fiance, but after those things, meat, beer, and football. So all my teams played this weekend, my football and my football teams. Saturday, I had a Wake Forest tailgate. Wake Forest college football team, ACC, go Deeks. Watch us on Saturday against Florida State. Um, got there at 8 a.m. for a noon game. I was a little disappointed in myself, but still, that was enough time. After that, we won, of course. Then Liverpool, my football team, played. They won. And then Sunday, my NFL team, the Panthers, played and won. So I'm undefeated. So this Transcendence that we're about to tackle, literally not going to be anything to worry about because I'm undefeated at this point of the weekend. So it was great. And then I guess I should throw in, something a little bit less important. My fiance and I found a venue for our wedding.
Hey, that's a big step. I mean, that's one of the first things you really need to nail down. I mean, once you sort out the ring situation and I guess the person.
Yeah, the person and the ring, they're both real. They're both um, very real, not made up um, people that exist, or a person that exists in a ring. So it's not a made up. I don't know who you heard that from, but it's real. And we're getting married and we have a place to do it now.
That is an awfully specific way to describe things, but I'm not going to dig into it. Speaking of people who are real, but not necessarily with us at the moment, I did see a couple questions in chat. We just covered this on the pre-show. Zoe is currently touching some grass. She may join us later in the evening, but is not presently with us. So we, of
Yes.
course, wish her the best. Um, I know grass is always a very sensitive subject when it is being touched and is very important to the DFO community. And Zoe's, of course, doing her part to keep that grass touching going.
Yes, the
Thank you,
community is
Zoe.
split. Yeah, the community is split. Thank you, Zoe. The community is split on the touching grass subject, but she's definitely pro grass, and hopefully she'll be here a little bit later. But you guys are in for a real treat. Not a real treat, but kind of like when you watch a train wreck. It's like people like to watch it, even though it's not a treat. Zoey, as Blart mentioned in the pre-show, is kind of our brains, our heart, our spine. She's a lot of the body of our show, so or our stream. So this should be fun. And I use the term fun lightly. But like Bart said, hopefully she'll be back soon. It's been a week, Bart, since the last time. Obviously, I know you guys are itching for me to get at the Transcendence. We will get there. Obviously, I'm gonna smash it, so we have plenty of time. But let's talk about what happened since the last time we were here. Blart, is Yuffie LD? Was that the first thing that happened?
It was. We got Rude Lost Chapter. We got Yuffie LD. This is continuing the trend of Lost. We're right now in this kind of weird middle state in how I'm perceiving it, where Lost Chapter characters are basically getting very little, and new character. One of the characters on the banner that wasn't the Lost Chapter character is getting a new LD that does something pretty cool and fancy. And so Rude has got his LD boards, which are not super spectacular. I'm not going to go into it, but the short version is he hits a bit harder, and that's really about it. He got some personal stat buffs and some overflow for the party, and his LD hits harder. Yuffie actually got the goods. Yuffie got an LD and a small rework. We got skill 1 now is a full gravity. Well, I think it's actually, if you want to get technical, it's like, I think it reduces, it's a full gravity, reduces to 0, along with getting splash and a double dump, which is dope. Her skill 2 is, I forget what that got. Oh yeah, it got a shit ton of debuffs is what it got. It got like 9 debuffs or something insane.
Yeah, it more debuffs than you can have.
It's really funny. Yuffie actually brings, like, we joke about Kefka. Yuffie at this point, sorry, I see Rogueson CC is asking in chat. Zoey is not currently here. She may join us later tonight, but is not here with us at the moment. We believe she's currently touching grass and, generally fighting the good fight in that regard.
Also, just want to point out before you keep going, it's very clear who the leader or who the champion of the people is here, because nonstop Zoey questions. So we're gonna let Zoey know how much you guys love her. Thank you. We love her too.
Yeah, that's viewership's gonna drop off a cliff as soon as that word gets out.
Don't speak too soon.
Oh no, Chris showing up with a raiding party of 48 just in time to find out that Zoey isn't here. We're ruined.
We're so sorry to let you down, Chris, but Zoey is not in here. We are doing some co-ops before we get into the Transcendence, and I know everyone here knows Chris. If you don't, I've said it before, it's on record, Deathly XX, thanks for the follow. My personal favorite DFFOO streamer. So if you do happen to be in our chat and you don't know about Chris, follow him. Thank you so much, Chris. We love you, man. That was awesome. But yeah, Zoey's not with us at the moment. She may be joining later. We're going to start with some Yuffie LD chat, some Barret LD chat, some Masked Monks, Lufania, and then we'll jump into the Transcendence, which I will, almost absolutely destroy, if recent history is to be believed. But Blart, I'm so sorry. We had a lot of situations come across while you were trying to talk about Yuffie. But yes, she did get the goods. Unlike Rude, who got almost nothing. Rest in peace. Yuffie got the goods. Please continue, my friend.
All right. Well, to make it quick, skill 1, full gravity, splash, double dump. Pretty great. Skill 2, a hilarious number of debuffs now. I think she basically has every debuff in the game or something, and they all had their potencies increased to the point where they all kind of matter, including, she got speed down, defense down, attack down, max brave down, imp down, turn rate down, poison, physical attack down, magic attack down. It's actually literally more debuffs than we have room for, because she also, from her LD, gets a frame debuff, which she has on wave start, which is cool because you can open with her skill 2 now to just max out her debuffs. It just increases the attack, defense, and speed downs based on the number of debuffs on the target. So she just is able to stack debuffs like crazy. She has tactics armor. She has a hilarious number of, she has hilarious amounts of stat down in her kit now. A lot of those are generic, so like they'll get overwritten or whatever. But the way they're ordered is actually they're ordered in a very smart way. I forget the exact order. But basically, all the debuffs you really care about are the ones that are gonna mostly stay on, so you don't have to worry about pushing them off, which is cool.
Yeah.
The LD itself also gives a buff to her that increases her HP and Brave damage based on the number of debuffs on the target, capping at like 40%, which is nuts. It also this is actually something I forgot about until today. It does like a Lael LD style refund of the party. Basically, after every turn, based on the damage dealt to the enemy, you get a Brave refund, which is kind of pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Basically, I just look at Yuffie and I'm like, this is an insane amount of utility, and we're not even talking about the fact that our EX still does sweet things. So it's just, in fact, the EX is really funny actually because it prevents enemies from buffing or gaining Brave, which are the two. Like Yuffie has buff steal and she has gravity, and so it's like, even if the bosses are immune to one of her things, she has something else to count. It's really stupid, and I love it.
Yeah, I think that she's just getting ready for whenever 10 or 11 or 12 debuffs become a thing in the game someday down the line, because as soon as they are, she's going to be there to take up all the buff slots or debuff slots. But like you mentioned, the way they're ordered and the way that they're framed / unframed really means that she doesn't hog all your debuff slots necessarily in a team comp. So you don't have to work around her specifically and her debuff slots if you want to bring, some better framed debuffs. But if she's the only debuffer on the squad, she'll still also just be absolutely neutering a boss.
Yeah, like she, she has physical and magic attack down on top of 2 type sources of attack down in her debuffs, plus tactics armor. So like her attack down is crazy. Cross is pointing out in chat that she has like 100% defense down with her armor. I think she also comes with an 85% attack up aura for the party, and that's actually something I want to shout out Eamon in the chat. I saw there was some discussion in the TCC Discord about this, where he was talking about how it's pretty nuts that she has a 100% attack up and 85% or other way around it, 100% defense down, 85% attack up, and I know some folks were kind of pushing back on that being not so impressive compared to some of the other characters that we have access to, like HP damage up, things like that. The thing about it that makes it kind of wild for me is you're not bringing Yuffie for like attack auras. Like you look at someone like Reno, he barely has party auras. You look at someone like Cypher, he barely has party auras. Yuffie, on top of having some of the most nutso debuffs in the game and some battery in her kit and like 40% HP damage up, she also buffs the party's attack by 85%. Like there's just so much stuffed into her kit. I'm like that. Like you're not bringing her for any of these one things necessarily, but she does so many things on top of the 1 or 2 reasons you'll bring to a given fight. It's like, wow, they really wanted to sell us Intergrade, didn't they?
Frog, shout out Frog, Worry Chad, a friend of the show, has gifted a sub, and in some cruel twist of fate, that sub has actually gone to the bot. The night bot moderator has somehow reaped the rewards of that gift sub. Unfortunate, Frog, thank you so much, man.
This is especially ironic. Frog, we do really appreciate that. It is especially ironic because longtime viewers of the Raw and Blart show will know that Nightbot had a reign of terror that was just absolutely...
Yeah.
It was just muting everyone and banning everyone. It was just kind of absurd.
Joey99 has now
a few months ago
subscribed.
And now it's rewarded for that. Oh my goodness.
And now we're in a hype train almost. Wow, I don't know what this means. Without Zoey, you guys really like us this much without Zoey. Thank you so much. You're going to get a round of applause. Joey, Frog, Chris with the raid. Good lord. Thank you guys. The support means the world. We're just getting started, like we mentioned. Getting our feet wet, but we really appreciate the support. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, echoing what Ross says, all the support means the world to us. We really just are a couple of doofuses and Zoey who are just trying to kind of make our way in the world. And the fact that you guys are coming out like this always it means a lot to us.
Yep.
So, I don't want to do a whole in-depth fight analysis for Rude Lost Chapter because we already finished it, and it's kind of old news. But let's talk about it real briefly.
Yes, the monks.
Well, actually, before we do that, Raw, did you pull for Rude or Yuffie? I know this is one of those characters you. I don't know if you were.
Come on,
here for that.
Blart set me up. Shadowheart has gifted a sub. For some reason, my little guy didn't show up. Edward dancing with the tambourine. But Shadowheart, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that. I did pull. You're very aware that I pulled. I thought I couldn't go lower after the Agrius mishap, but I got into a tickets full battle with the frog. That is Worry Chad. And I lost brutally. Once again, he won. That takes my record on the season to 0-2. And Akusame cheered 38 bits. Oh, Akusame, Aku, we're a fan of you. I was watching Aku stream Tales of Arise. I don't know that game, but it looked fun. It looked like an anime that you play. So check out Aku. Anyway, my Mango D cheese with the cheers. You guys are just, you're hype training. I don't know what that means, but I respect the hell out of it. Anyway, back to the misery. I lost. I'm 0-2, and I didn't get Yuffie in my tickets. But as you can tell from these co-ops, I kept going, and I used every ticket that I got in the future from that point till now, and I eventually did pull her LD with only tickets. We don't mix around here. So thanks for bringing that up, Blart. But yes, that's true. And Worry Chad, once again, more bits. Blart, what do you say to these people? Look at these guys. Just, look, hype trains at 100%, Blart. What do we say? Unreal.
I gotta, this is, you guys are just tremendous, and I keep using the word appreciate, but yeah, much gratitude to all you guys for coming out and support, and I hope that what we are providing to you here is a service you find enjoyable and valuable, because you're certainly making us feel valued.
Sir.
So, let's see. Yeah, no, well, I will say between Agrius and Yuffie, at the very least, Raw, if you have to get memed on in pull battles, the worst, at the very least, you're getting some good units out of it. It's not like you're, pulling for like Barret or something. That we'll get into that later.
Come on, man, are you really? Zoey's not here to keep us under control, and you're really gonna come after me twice in a row. We'll talk about Barret later, buddy. But Worry Chad has gifted another sub, which takes him to 7 gifted in the channel in the history. Worry Chad, Frog. You know what I said about you in the pre-show. I'm not going to repeat it here because this is recorded, but that's how I really feel about you. Okay? And all jokes aside, we really appreciate that. But yes, the pool battles are going poorly, but I'm getting good characters. I think that you got Yuffie. Am I wrong? You got Yuffie too.
I did indeed. Yeah, no, she came home pretty quickly. I forget. It was like, I don't know, 100, less than 100 tickets, I think. Which is cool. I've only used her a couple times now, so I'm still like trying to figure out, like, okay, do I like with Agrius? I very quickly was like, okay, this character's awesome, I love him. With Yuffie, I'm like still getting a feel for her and trying to decide if I like her or not. But either way, pretty cool. I've always enjoyed Yuffie as a character. When I was a little kid, she was one of my favorites because I'm like, ninja, sweet, and that ninjas and optional characters, like optional characters in video games have always like had a kind of allure for me when I was a little kid. I always the black and white Yoshis and Yoshi Story were like jamming for me because secret characters. So Yuffie was right up my alley. Same with Vincent, of course. But so we'll see how that goes in terms of me using her.
I'm just a little jealous of you getting her so early, but I have a feeling that you will find a strong use for her. You have a great track record of finding niches. Is that still allowed? Is that word still allowed?
I don't think you're allowed to say it, but it is true. You're not wrong.
But you find where to put them. Really, really disappointed in the frog after all the support. He has now made me chug a beer. But we got to keep the show rolling, so I will pour a beer while we chat, and I will pay the frog back for his chug a beer. But the fight, we still haven't started the fight, man. This fight was a little bit of a breath of fresh air, in my opinion. It was kind of nice. It was 3 targets. Do you want to go into the fight a little bit? What'd you do? Who'd you bring?
Yeah. So, yeah, this fight, I really enjoyed this fight. It's kind of interesting. When a lost chapter shows up, I always try to in my head compare it to the event fight and like figure out like, what's changed, what's different. Is it better, worse, more restrictive, less restrictive, easier, harder? And it's interesting interesting kind of thing to think about compared to the Rude fight, because this fight introduces a couple new mechanics while keeping most of the old ones, but they also change it so they're no longer brave and or the brave. They used to resist magic and ranged attacks to kind of limit your options. So, like for instance, Trey was really good in the event, but you had to enchant him. Kuja was really good in the event because he had enchant in peril, because things like that. In this, they got rid of the reduction. They got rid of the resistances, but they've added the orb, which is a sap orb, and they added a new mechanic by which the fight is the same as the original fight in that they have these masks every time they take a turn and aren't paralyzed. Thank you, Agrias. They go from white to yellow to red.
Yes.
When they're Master White, they regen Brave on their turns. When the mask's yellow, they regen Brave and HP. When the mask's red, they regen Brave and HP. And when they turn red, they apply a debuff on the party, which is basically a Setzer freeze style debuff. No Brave gain of any kind. They also do that debuff at 80 and 50%. So, it's the unit thing. Like, debuffs aren't the core of the fight, like for like the orb, like it is for the Unifight or Transcendence. But it is a important part because that's not a debuff you can just ignore. That's a debuff that if it's on your party, until you get rid of it, you're not doing anything.
Neutership.
I think that's about the last thing. Yeah, and the last thing to mention is it's a sap orb, but they do delay themselves at different intervals. At the 80%, at the 50%. They also will put up a big shield at 70 and 30% that also, has a self delay associated with it. And because you have to break them to reset their masks, that can be an issue if you aren't bringing a good team. That being said, there are a lot of good teams for this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, you got the cleansers, you got the ribbon strategies that people talk about. It's a 3-target fight, so there are a lot of, felt like, right now Strago is doing people talk about him doing 1 million damage on a button, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the fight in a nutshell. I brought a number of teams through it because I had a lot of fun using it.
Yeah, it was a breath of fresh
But
air.
what about you? It was a breath of fresh air. It was engaging, had some challenge, but wasn't oppressive. You could play around with different things. But I actually didn't like the Shinryu fight because people talk about it being easy. I found that if I didn't bring Warrior of Light, 9, Pestle, there's certain units that completely new to the fight, and if I ran without those units, I found it a bit more challenging. This fight, I found there were a lot of creative solutions I could come up with, and it made it very fun and engaging. How about you? What do you think of it?
Yeah, like we said, it was a breath of fresh air in the way that a couple of these fights in a row have been not that fun for me. Were they easy, quote unquote? We'll discuss this later, maybe the state of easy game, but they were easy if you brought a very specific subset of units, really, not just teams, but there had to be a couple, one or another unit here or there to deal with mechanics, and that I don't remember who coined this phrase. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it was Mino, as much as that hurts me to say, but angles of enjoyment.
That was me.
Was it?
I used it in
we're
the.
about to fight. This is gonna be a huge drama. Did you really? You were the one who said that, right? I thought it was me.
I came up for my 1,000 view Doulahan video, still the most viewed video on my YouTube channel. Shout out to Bl'Artagnan's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I coined the term angles of enjoyment, and BC thought it was great, and he which I appreciate, and he kind of shouted me out. That was actually something that kind of raised my profile because he shared the video and was like, hey guys, I think this is a great succinct way to describe this fight, which is a bullshit fight. That was how I first showed up in Lifestream, was that video. And then Raw Life, my friend, my brother in arms, my trusted confidant, went ahead and attributed it to. In fairness, if you're going to attribute something in DFFOO to anyone, 90% of the terminology in this game does come from Mino, so I don't really blame you. We're cool.
No, I don't know, man. I still think this is going to be a huge drama because you're on live with me right now, and I tried to give a great terminology that you coined joined Tamino. I apologize. I don't apologize much normally. I go down in a blaze of glory and just refuse to apologize, but I apologize.
The thing is, I think for both, I can speak for both of us. We're both thinking to ourselves, what would Zoey say if she comes back and finds one of us dead as a result of us beefing over this? For Zoe's sake,
Yeah.
we have to hold it together.
Yeah, we've got to keep cooler heads. Let's cooler heads prevail because Zoe's not here to keep us from each other's throats. Venom's Kiss with more bits. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate that, man. But the angles of enjoyment. My great friend and close confidant, Blart, once used the term angles of enjoyment when it comes to this game. A lot of the fun in this game comes from not the game making a fight difficult itself, but making a fight that has to have Venom's Kiss with the follow. Thank you so much, Venom's Kiss. A new face. We love the new faces around here. Making a fight make you think and make you build a team or make you bring certain checks to the mechanics that the fight presents you without pushing you straight into a box. Like, this is the box. You have to have one of these two people, one of these 3 units, one of these 4 units even, or it's going to be a really hard time. This fight didn't cut off many angles of enjoyment. I saw a lot of crazy clears. But at the same time, if you weren't really careful with that orb or with their HP attacks that they would blow you up with, or with their masks, their self delays, there are a lot of mechanics that could really kick your butt if you weren't on your game. So for me, that's a great kind of fight. Maybe it was a little bit overall easier, but I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think we even got into who you brought, but I brought Aerith, who completely keeps the debuffs off you the whole fight. Strago, who just does just insane damage, re-breaks, great for the fight. Both banned for the TCC, by the way. And Agrius. Of course, we all have blue Agrius, so we had to bring Agrius. Bart, who did you bring? Or did you already? I don't think you mentioned it. Did you?
I did not. So I ran this fight a bunch of times. Posted a few videos of it. My initial clear was Strago, Ignis, and 9 because, as you said, Strago and 9 love multi-target fights, and I figured, hey, let's bring an enchant and debuff immunity. Which the one thing I'll say about this fight is if you bring a character with debuff immunity, Ignis or Aerith, or I guess theoretically Lena or Aphmau, the fight gets a lot easier because probably the most challenging thing about it is that freeze mechanic, because if you don't bring them down into the threshold at the same time, then they'll stagger applying it, and you can't just use a call to get through it. You get the idea. But yeah, in any case, I did that, and then I discovered that this whole time I've been playing this game, and I haven't been using Agrius and Beatrix on the same team, mostly because Agrius just came out, so not really my fault. But it turns out that those two on the same team is actually my favorite thing in the world.
Fantastic.
It turns out that short of giving my wife a long and warm hug, or thinking about my daughter to be, the only thing that gives me more, as much joy as those things is no, that's weird. Okay, this is getting weird. Short version: Agrius and Beatrix, I really like. I used Reno with them. I used Ash with them. I used Ferris with them for funsies. I just had a ball playing with those two on this team, and it was great.
And
So
it's a game, so enjoying the game, it makes me happy to hear you enjoyed playing the game. A lot of people lose sight, especially with the way this game's set up. Right now I'm fighting for my plate. It's supposed to be fun, and it sounds to me like you had a lot of fun. Also, you would make a great politician, Blart.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say brought a lot of joy, and vote for Blart.
I would be his vice president because I don't want people going into my history and bringing up things from the past and kind of submarining our campaign. I've got horrible news and I've got great news. The great news is we're about to talk about Barret LD and Barret LD banner. And then we're going to talk about Transcendence while I run it. That's all great news. The horrible news is I do have to step away for a couple minutes. Blart, if you want to go, do you want to go ahead and drop some info on Barret? Do you know how he works? Did you check him out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be happy to talk about Barret while you
Okay.
step away.
All right.
Um,
You guys give me maybe a minute. When I get back, I will pay. We only have one beer chug per stream now, and I do owe the frog one. So I'll be back. And Blart, just tell us about Barret. What did he get? I know it's a little sad. A lot of people aren't really on the Barret train, but what did he get?
well,
I'll be right
I know
back.
some folks pulled really hard for him. Um, so Barret got himself an LD and a rework. He's the featured Transcendence character for this tier, which is kind of funny because Yuffie kind of, in many respects, is just better than he is for the tier, but that's a whole nother story. The rework is, I would describe it as Faris tier. It's a Faris level rework because it technically does make him better, but does not make him good. Skill 1 got 80% splash, which is, I mean, that's a decent thing for a move to have. That's all it got, though. Skill 2, well, the avalanche buff associated with skill 2 got buffed. It now provides the party with, I think, 15% more attack and max brave, which is not much. It also gives him, I think, an additional 10% attack and max brave. This is at 5 stacks, which are improvements. He also got an LD, and the LD is actually pretty cool. It when he uses it, it basically it does the. A lot of Final Fantasy VII characters are getting this. It does the Tifa style zillion small brave hits with an HP dump and refund in between, and it basically turns into him doing like a zillion D damage when you press the LD button. Um, I've seen people doing like I think the highest I saw was 1.8 million with it. It gets kind of nuts for a single button, and it gives him a new buff called Rage at Shinra, which it's a stacking buff. He does not start with any, or does he? No, does he start with one? No, he starts with one stack. My apologies. He starts with one stack of the buff. At one stack, it gives the party guaranteed crit, well, 100% crit rate along with some HP and brave damage up. At 2, it gives more HP and brave damage up, and at 3, gives even more HP and brave damage up. And Barret's max brave can't drop below 10%, which basically is the idea there would be that it makes his follow up attack a bit better.
That's the
The problem with it,
the Kryl. What do we call that?
yeah, the
That's
Cryol Emperor special.
that's right.
They
The Kryl Emperor
they
special.
give that to characters with traps and stuff in general, or I guess follow up guaranteed follow up attacks things like that, so that they don't get boned by the fact that they have traps, which I think is neat. The problem I have with Barret, it's this is a feel thing more than anything. I think is that he starts with one stack of his LD. He has to use his LD twice more to get it to max power, and it has 3 uses, and so that just feels kind of lame to me a little bit because you basically have to burn through 2 uses of it to get to max potential, or sandbag it for part of the fight and not be at max potential. It just kind of
Yeah.
feels kind of mad to me. I mean, he's slow, so you can probably get away with using two of it early to get him to max, and he'll still have the buff by the end of the fight because he's just so slow. But
Yeah. He
I
seems
just wish
he seems a little hamstrung. He seems like the oh, I'm supposed to chug this for the frog. I'll get that out of the way before we start Transcendence. But
make it happen.
Barret seems a little hamstrung by the devs. It seems like there were a couple like little things they could have changed to really make him a lot more appealing. The big thing you brought up was the LD stacks. You got 3 uses, and he's basically a support. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's a support character, and his support isn't at maximum value unless you've used 2 of his 3 LDs. Seems I don't know. I feel like that could have easily, first LD usage throws it to max stacks, right? That
Yeah,
wouldn't make him overpowered. It wouldn't make him he wouldn't creep any of the current supports we have. Um, Seems like he got a kind of a raw deal from the devs, so we will
yeah.
uh,
I he so the, I'm hesitant to like really shit on him like some people have because specifically because I came down pretty hard on Rosa and then ended up using Rosa a whole lot. And I still stand by my statement, which is any vacuum queen is probably going to be slightly better than Rosa, but they do similar things. And I actually think Rosa does enough unique things that there are reasons to bring her over someone else. With Barret, I look at him like I kind of struggle to make that, even though I've been burned before. I'm just a bit gun shy about making a strong opinion about it now.
Eamon is rolling over in his grave right now. I did do my chug, so we're all even. But Eamon is losing his shit right now, knowing that you're not giving Rosa a complete apology.
I no, I've already. I like to think I've made my peace with Eamon. I sent him a fruit basket, some flowers,
Yeah.
a card and stuff. I just didn't want to make a big thing out of it
Well,
because
well, I mean, I heard about that, and so I actually sent Eamon. Shout out Eamon, a long time TCC, right? TCC visitor, long time player of the game. I sent him an edible arrangement. So I actually kind of one-upped you, and I'm not sorry. Um,
well, I was trying to be discreet because I have a burgeoning political career that can't afford a scandal. But now you've gone and done it.
so much drama. This is gonna be a big drama. I knew when Zoey wasn't gonna be here. So what you're gonna try to fight me over Eamon when I have made peace with Eamon as well. I think I made peace with Eamon betterer than you did. That's just how I feel.
If I if I if I knew how to set up a poll, we need Zoe here to set
God,
up a
we
poll.
can't. We literally can't do it.
Neither of us know how to set up the damn poll
We can't
because
do
she
it.
is the brains of the operation. But anyway, um, but yeah, no.
Should we jump into this Transcendence? Is
I
that what
think
we
it's
should do?
Transcendence time. I will. The last thing I'll say about Barret is actually I just want to shout out something. Demon Drake is a 666. Said in chat, which I agree with completely. The thing with Barret, he is good, but not the best, and people tend to want the best. That's a very good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Barrett's numbers are competitive. He'll work. I don't know if he'll work as well as other people, and that's why people will be like, well, why should I bother with this? Because it is a resource management game. You have to make choices like that.
Yes.
So I think that basically is shout outs right there to Demon Drake's ZA 666.
Yeah.
ZA 666. I don't know.
Demon Drake's 666. New face of the stream. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. And that is an incredible take. The thing with Barret, he is good but not the best. People tend to want the best. Um, a lot of time is spent in this game not trying to use the best because everyone wants to use the best and like, oh my guy, this is the one I like who is a little bit better, a little bit worse than the best, but still usable. A lot of the main meta or the main people who play the game, they always want the best of everything. And exactly like Demon Drake just said, he's not the best at anything he does, but he can help you out. He can help a team out. There will be some big Barret fans who are going to bring him to some stuff that he probably didn't clear in JP at all. I know Black Nero on YouTube has a blue Barret, and he's a big time Barret fan. So I bet you we will see some pretty cool Barret clears in the future. But he like you said, he's not the best. But he can be serviceable. I'm about to start the Transcendence left node. I'm ready to roll. We're a couple beers deep. Me and Blart are on the verge of physical violence, and I think it's time to jump into this. Who knows how many times I'm going to fail? So
Failure is a mindset thing. Well, until the wipe actually happens. So,
who do I
what have
take
you
as
been
my
thinking
third?
for it?
I need you to. I'm going to let you in chat pick my third. We're doing the flans. I know it's are the flans.
Flams.
It's a Esna orb. You have to cleanse debuffs. Should handle that by yourself. Then Tifa for just huge single target damage. My right clear is gonna be Vaughn, Setzer, Trey, I believe. And then my final will be Setzer, Vaughn, Tifa. We're going full meta. I mean, Yuna, not Tifa. Who should
At
bring
the
as
end,
my third?
what it comes down to, folks, is that we have about an hour and change to get through this, and so we can't be
So
having
much-
Raw struggle too hard with
Right.
really elaborate team setups, which is why Onion Knight will probably not be making an appearance this time, and neither will Palom, our
I
good buddy
was
Palom.
thinking about. I've got a little theory craft that I'm ready to put into action after this. Onion Knight call on an Agrius team. Get her another paralyze. Get her another complete lockdown. With one
I think
delay, I think it could work. But anyway,
yeah, no, between you and me, I think we just became friends again because I had the same thought.
Did you? I think that her with I think we don't want to go off on a tangent, but Agrius with just one more complete lockdown turn, I think could really really, especially if you add a delayer to the mix, so that final turn lasts for 20 actual turns.
There's
Um,
there's a small number of characters I have in my mind where like I keep in mind that they work really well with Onion Knight Call because they have like one use of something like they have a small use of something that's like real like Setzer with his freeze joker, Agrius with the AA, Eldnorsh with the AA I sometimes do depending on the fight and how I'm feeling. There's a small number of folks that I do use. I love to kind of earmark as okay, this is a good Onion Knight person for if I don't feel like running all debuff calls or something.
right.
So, Raw, who are you think like? Okay, what do you got? What do you who are you
So
considering as available for this fight?
all right, so we're gonna go
I
for
know you're not going to
so
use Bart's.
the other gate, the right gate. We're gonna do Trey, Setzer, Vaughn. Should smash it, I believe, from what I've seen on clears. So that means we have Yuna, Tifa, and one more for the left gate. Options could
Okay.
be Agrius. It is blue. She is blue. Could be Agrius. Could be Porum. That's about it. I guess
So
Yuffie, but I don't really want Yuffie.
to answer, a couple of folks in chat are pointing out that you do have Barret. I know you went out of your way to pick him up, and if I remember right, I don't think you haven't completed his summon boards yet, have you? So that's kind of the
Yeah.
thing.
So everybody talking about Barret. I did not do his summon boards yet. I kind of lucked into him yesterday when I was. We didn't really go into the Barret LD um, banner. I went gems. If you guys have noticed a severe loss of gems in my upper left corner, that is because I chased Una BT. And let me make a public service announcement: do not chase BTs. If you really want the BT, if it's a favorite, go and get it. Be done with it. I spent almost the entire unicycle chasing her BTs. Didn't really care for Yuffie. Went all with all my tickets, trying to get Yuffie LD and Una BT. Went with gems into Barret LD, and after 420 G tokens, I received Una's BT. So don't chase BTs if it's a favorite. Make it happen. Don't leave it to the hands of chance. And that's my public service announcement. But yeah, we still
I
need a
will
third.
I will say for this does mean that I've once again surpassed you in gem count, meaning I think we are once again fighting.
Wait, you're past me now, even after two pities on triple BT banners.
Yeah, I am at 376,000.
Wait, you're like 76K above me.
I got a full pity above you, my dude.
Tifa. Oh, shout out Some Girl. I have not set up the thing yet. Some Girl is a fantastic moderator of ours, and also does some crazy runs. She's the antithesis of Raw Life. She does awesome runs with like random characters, her favorites. Check her out on YouTube. If you just Google Some Girl DFFOO,
Uh,
she'll be on there. So if
to
somebody
clarify, that's Somegi,
Some Eggy,
Somegi. It's
yeah.
one word and the RL is missing, and I'm not sure why, but that's not my place to judge.
Well, if somebody wants to throw that YouTube up there, that would be great. She did
Hope
a
has just ruined you, by the way.
what happened?
Check the chat.
Okay, so the poll that she put up, Tifa Una and Agrius has won. So Agrius will be the third unit on this left side. So I mean that should be fine, right?
I think that's going to clap it. Just the one thing to be careful of with Agrius here, she should still do well, but keep in mind that the orb is a cleanse orb, so you'll periodically need to get debuffed, and that means
Oh
you don't want to
shit!
be too
Oh
paralyzed happy.
fuck.
It's
Um,
she. I've seen plenty of clears with her. She's gonna do great for you. Just especially with Tifa, the Brave gains, it's because great. Just keep in mind that you don't keep them locked down the whole fight. You want them to take turns from now, here and there.
yeah, I did miss what happened. Who somebody smoked me and
Cope Mello redeemed talk
oh
with an accent.
fuck. Okay, everything was going so smooth, even without Zoey, and now All right, so we're gonna put a timer on it because I'm not about to just blow up this VOD with a horrible accent.
But you're also not about to do it for like 30 seconds like you did last time.
Okay.
Got to give him his points, his money's worth.
Yeah, I got to give Cope his money's worth. Cope, a fantastic friend of the stream, one of our first subscribers. Thank you so much, Cope Mello. And this one's for you, mate. So, piss in my eye. I reckon I'll bring Agri. Oi, what's all this then? I reckon I'll bring Agrius, Tifa, and Yuna here on the left side. What we'll do? You asked for this, Blart. You asked for this.
I know Goose is gonna be watching on the VOD. Goose, I'm sorry.
Blart.
I never asked for this.
You asked for this, mate. Anyway,
Hope asked for this.
We gotta get rolling here because we're gonna have a bit of a time, crunch. Have not run these fights at all yet. However, I'm up and at 'em. I'm really ready to get stuck in. So, Blart, tell me a little bit. What do I need to be aware of here in this fight? Fuck.
Well, so you... Jesus, fucking speechless.
Woo!
So these flans, these terrible Garnet flans.
That's right.
I remember the very first time they showed up as in Garnet's event, and I thought to myself, this is the worst. There will never be a worse enemy than these flans. They're very upsetting. I hate them. They look upsetting. Their mechanics are annoying, but more importantly, they look really upsetting.
Yeah, they're scary.
And it turns out I was wrong, but they do still set the bench. They did still set a new benchmark for me in terms of how upsetting enemies can be. So the orb is very simple. It's a cleanse orb. If you cleanse debuffs, it boosts the orb, and it caps at like 20. So if you have a bunch of debuffs on the party, you can just unicleanse, and you're kind of golden. Generally, you're gonna want you kind of want the little flans alive because their recast is actually a fairly small HP damage attack that also applies a debuff to the party. So that's a good way to kind of help.
Yeah, this is good. This is
keep
all
yourself.
Good information.
Exactly. In fact, because their recast will charge during the paralyze, that's one way that you can kind of, if you paralyze them while the recast isn't charged, you can just let them get a free charge of the recast, and close for that. Something to keep in mind with the with Agrius. Also, a small note: Agrius herself, I believe, has debuff evasion, so that could come into play. I don't know, one way or the other.
Her debuff evasion is like percentage-wise kind of low, is it not?
Is it? I actually did not know.
I think it's relatively low. What's the?
I'm gonna look that up right now.
You just have to do one. You just have to do one debuff, right? So as long as one person. Yeah, player cancels debuff plus 8. So any debuff will work.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to get debuffed like really soon though, so I'm actually gonna have to not. Shit, I can't brave attack because I'll paralyze. Let's go ahead and just smash these stages. I'm just gonna no blind runs. Can the ads debuff me, or do I need the main body to debuff me? Agrius has 100% debuff evasion. Shit.
It's gonna be okay. You'll survive.
Yeah, Tifa and Yuna can. But the thing is, I don't want to. I don't want to paralyze this guy.
Correct. I'd try to avoid paralyzing if you can.
We got a 75% chance here not to paralyze him. We didn't. No, we paralyzed A. Ooh, I snorted. All right. So that happened.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Well, he's already at 89%. I've got a burst effect from her, and also his turn's coming right back up with only Tifa in the middle.
Yeah, so. they're actually really fast. So like if you have Unit in the party, you'll be surprised how easy the orb is to manage if you're not running like a massive turn stealer. Just be careful with Tifa because she's very fast.
Yeah, I won't use like instant turn rate skills.
Eamon's.
Oh, I could have used my Blade Plus. Oh my fucking god. Oh shit.
Eamon just answered a question that I had.
He also did something.
Well, that's what he did. I was wondering, is the make me talk with an accent incentive?
No, it's not.
It's not one a day, huh? Interesting.
I stopped the shit, y'all. I stopped the beer incentive at 1 per day out of fear for my public health or for my personal
I'm
health.
sorry, I can't understand you. Your accent right now is too thick. Maybe if you tried speaking with less of an accent, I'd be able to understand you.
This is going to cause a huge drama between you and me, Blart. Because you know, it's orbs at 4 right here. I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to HP attack with Agrius. Because I'm so scared that I will... Yeah, I'm going to HP attack with Agrius. What a waste.
Why do you need to HP attack with Agrius?
Because I didn't want to waste her faded molly. What's happened here? What has happened here?
Oh, they put bad debuffs on you sometimes. Blind, HP silence, whatchamacallit. I'm pretty sure there's a brave, like one of those whoa!
Yo.
That came out of nowhere.
Alright, that accent is done. We gotta actually... We're trying to beat all 3 fights in one stream. I may have underestimated... This is supposed to be the easy one. So, let's...
I disagree. I honestly found that this was probably the second hardest fight of the thing. I found personally, I know some people had different experiences. I found the Scorpions the easiest, and I found... Okay, when I say easy, I brought Vaughn BT, and I think if I didn't, it would have been this would have been the hardest fight, because it's tanky as fuck. But if you bring sufficient damage, it's not difficult. Okay, no. Let me rephrase. I need to stop because I'm about to talk myself into a corner here. With Yuna and Vaughn, it shouldn't be giving you a hard time, is what I'm trying to say. Jesus.
Well, I've got Vaughn on the other side. I want to use Vaughn on the other side.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fine.
Actually, I want to shout something out. I haven't been able to pay attention to chat that much, but some girl has just absolutely ended my entire career. What happened is you didn't press Asuna when Yuna had a turn. So I guess we already had a debuff up, and we weren't paying attention. So, we're going to go back into kill mode. We've got to destroy these guys so we can get to the reckoning. CSAM said neither Crucible was difficult. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, with this fight, I found with Yuna in the party, I should clarify, that this fight isn't super difficult. It's tanky, and you have to kind of keep an eye on the orb, but it's not super... It's not like one of those, like, Arciela or kind of like... It's not one of those fights where, like, it's super RNG whether the boss debuffs you or not. They do it pretty frequently, so long as you're not locking them down or turn delaying them or anything. And so long as you can keep up with that and make sure they don't have too much Brave to one-shot you, it's usually not... It's not going to be too bad. They're tanky as fuck, and it takes a while.
Yeah, I do kind of worry that I may have taken these guys a little bit not serious enough, because I was assuming I was going to just run through these guys and get to the reckoning. So I'm going to try to focus up a little bit with calls, everything else. Did they do anything funky at their thresholds?
Yeah, I want to say that they apply a debuff. I think an HP poison, maybe? Or I think they apply some kind of acid or something at that threshold.
That's actually good.
Exactly, it's not a problem, if I remember right. Just, again, it's about Yuna. It's about using her turn jumping and, positioning her so that you can cleanse at the right time. Keeping them, thinking about, occasionally you'll skip cleansing with her, depending on the debuffs you have in the party, just to save. Like, for instance, right now, don't cleanse that debuff if you think you can get to her next turn without it. Exactly, things like that.
What about calls? They don't have any elemental resistances, do they? Flans?
Nope. No, I mean, I tend to drop my calls after the 80% mark because they boost their stats, so I drop the calls to counter that. But other than that, yeah, no, there's nothing stopping you from doing what you want to do here, kind of.
3-hit
also,
Brave, 3-hit Group Brave, 6 hits from Yuna should break A, I believe. Is that right? with Queen in the party. We should be. Oh, 12K Brave left on A. Welcome to the shit show, folks. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, guys. 12K Brave off. Yikes. I gotta focus up. We're actually in the end game now. This team, I do want to point out, some girl beat this team in 30, or beat this with the same team in 30 tries, so, or 30 turns. So we're gonna have to really not embarrass ourselves here. Blart, it's up to you.
Well, we got this. Even though I can barely see your stream on account of the way my computer layout is set up, I am seeing basically just the chat and the abilities you have available. One day I will have a second monitor, but today's not that day.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. These guys are pretty tanky, though. I do notice that for sure. What I'm understanding is the ads are basically nothing to really worry about. They're not gonna.
I mean, as you saw, they are capable of like killing you if it comes down to it, but you generally don't worry about them because you use them as a way to consistently get debuffs applied onto you. You mostly just try to focus down the big guy and, you know, do some splash damage here and there and whatnot. You don't need to focus on killing the ads, though, which is a bit different for a fight. I kind of like the dynamic. I actually found it kind of fun. Again, bringing Von BT and Yuna through it. It was... I thought that was kind of interesting.
So the orb's at 3. I'm going to have to cleanse here, and Asuna actually will not get me before A. So I'm going to do what probably shouldn't do. I'm going to break A with a... I'm going to go ahead and do it before you tell me not to do it. I'm going to use Kurosame call. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to Asuna. Yeah, this was fine, dude. This was fine. Oh, yeah, we have Queen. We have Party Last Stand. This should be really... man, that orb really only jumped up.
For debuff, so if they debuff the whole party, you'll be able to like full it up.
Player cancels debuff plus 8. Okay. Yeah, we already knew that.
So like when that little guy uses his recast, he's gonna hit everyone, debuff everyone. You just do it again, and you're golden.
I've got to break him, though, correct?
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'd break one of them because Last Stand, you know, obviously will only stop one of them. You go break them both, honestly, if you want. It's all good.
Yeah, folks. We kind of, I don't know if we underestimated the enemy or overestimated my skill, but I'm gonna have to really get serious here so that we can beat this in one. Wait, the recast gives us debuffs,
Recast,
right?
Yes, it applies debuffs, and it also doesn't hit that hard, honestly. It's really rather tame.
Yeah, and we have what just happened? Did I miss that?
Debuff probably included blind here.
It did indeed. Oh, this is a shit show already. This is not fun for me.
I wouldn't even use one of Tifa's skills. I'd probably just like Brave Attack or something.
Because he's gonna miss.
Or maybe you just use it to break one of them. I don't know. Weird. Oh right, yeah, Bane. Never mind.
What is Bane?
They can't even game freeze. It's like sets or freeze. You can't game Brave, so you might as well just Brave Attack so you don't dump what you have.
This guy's already at 80%, so what I'm gonna do is set up Yuna's BT phase. Not right now. I'm not gonna use it right now, but I am going to set it up because. You guys, no one told me this was going to be hard.
You didn't expect that the hardest content the game throws at us is going to be hard?
Blart, Not with super OP teams.
That is fair, but this is manageable. You can do
blind,
it. It's
Bane,
just there's a lot of
cannot
people
gain
watching and
brave.
shouting you, which makes it distracting.
I don't want to Asuna because I won't get a free turn or I won't get a immediate turn.
You definitely want to Asuna. The orb's at 2.
But could I summon and then Asuna? Oh, I brought Shiva. What the hell is going on? I guess they're fast, so that's okay, right?
It'll be fine.
Alright, C's about to go. I really need to refresh my LD buff, so we're gonna go Energy Blast with Valor.
You could also cheer, which is instant turn and heals you.
That would be better. C is actually targeting Yuna, and a immediate HP attack would kill Yuna, even with the party last stand. Christ in heaven. But if Queen goes over and over and over until C gets his I can't use Queen's LD because she is in
if you use one more Balestra Lunge, you'll be able to use her LD after you get out of the stance.
Yeah, but is C gonna...
It'll be okay. Press Balestra Lunge and then use the LD.
Alright, we're gonna change the focus of the show here. I'm gonna not move until everyone decides on a action to take, and then I will take the action that everyone decides on. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be alright. We'll be alright, guys. This is gonna be tough, though. This is gonna be tough.
Twitch plays DFFOO. God.
Twitch plays DFFOO. Fuck's sake. I brought Shiva, and then I didn't even change my my calls.
All good. You got this.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm not gonna break them in order because I'm just fearless.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We want them to take some turns.
Dave 8711, what's up, man? I'm sorry, you guys. We are incredibly thankful everyone's showing up in the chat right now and supporting us. I am in a fight for my life, even with meta units. So we're not being able to pay attention too much to chat, but we are.
It's gripping stuff.
Yeah, I am literally constantly in fear that I'm going to just completely wipe on stream. So even with the most meta team,
It's gonna be fine. I believe in you. You can do this.
Orbs at 10. We have nothing to cleanse, so let's go ahead and let them move. I'm going to Energy Ray, which is going to be AoE, and break everybody, but out of order, hopefully. So.
That's the spirit. You got this.
All right, there's a debuff I can cleanse. Oh man,
You're getting the rhythm of it down now.
I've got a question for you, Blart, from chat. Everett Epic, new friend of the show, has asked, "Is X Death worth pulling for?" This one's for you, Blart. I'll be able to survive until you finish this question. What do you think about X Death, man?
This discussion is definitely going to get you killed, but X Death is actually one of my favorite characters.
I will survive till you come back. I promise.
Okay. He's actually one of my favorite characters. I like him a lot, both in and out of game. He has a very unique playstyle, so like, when you say worth pulling for, there are a few different kind of qualifications. In terms of being like a meta unit, he's not a Vaughn, he's not a Tifa, he's not a Yuna, he's not a Setzer, he's not he's none of those things. But what he does very well. It's a pretty unique playstyle. You probably know the gist of it, but basically, if you do pull for him, he's going to bring you very good gravity effects, some of the best kind of brave shaving in the game. He's going to give you some really good deep attack down, which is, if you want to play a defensive style, that's good. He's great in enemy phase style teams, and his burst is actually kind of nifty because it's one of, if you like Cloud of Darkness burst or on your friend unit or whatever, X Death is similar because it does basically the fewer turns he takes, well, the more burst phases, mileage you get with your turn skills, the better it is because, well, yeah. Cross 13 is just kind of giving a short version of what I should have been saying. He's not easy to use, but if you know how to use X-Death, he's very much anti-boss BS, and you're going to see... Basically, he's very good at disrupting the boss and kind of keeping them from doing the stuff they want to do because he has this great attack down, he has these great, he doesn't attack through normal Brave things, so, if you hate that, mechanic that the Kyurem Bears do, where if you hate that set, Brave damage to 1, they have, you have to break this guy, but he can't be broken, he can't be hit for damage, oh ho ho. X-Death, he completely shits on that because all of his moves say no to that. So I find him very fun. His animations are very satisfying. He does this oh ho ho thing, which I found tremendous. And he's very memeable too, so I personally am a huge fan. That being said, he's kind of an offbeat unit. So when you say, is he worth pulling for, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just straight up, the most powerful units in the game, I don't think X-Death is one of the most powerful units in the game. You could probably just survive, similar to Cloud of Darkness, using just friend X-Deaths, and you're rarely going to find a case where it's like, man, I really wish I had X-Death for the specific thing I'm trying to do. That said, if you're looking for different experiences, or if you just like kind of enemy disabling playstyles, I think he's a lot of fun to use. And this is his rework is obviously going to make him much better. His LD boards, his burst weapon are going to make him better. I've really enjoyed him even before then, so I think he's going to only be getting better from here. All right, Raw, you can come back. Oh, C-Sam, thank you for the sub. My dude, my buddy, my pal.
Long-term friend of the show. Long-term friend of ours. We know C-Sam from the TCC Discord. If you guys want to chat with us, if you guys want to learn more about the game or give your thoughts on the game, there's a great Discord out there. I just linked it in the chat. It's called TCC Discord. We made a lot of friends through there. A lot of great people. C-Sam being one of them. So shout out C-Sam.
Not to keep talking about X-Death, but CSDX does say kind of the fundamental thing here, which is X-Death is one of those units that ignores some of the basic foundational rules of the game, and that can be very powerful because he can sidestep mechanics. Doesn't necessarily mean he's, one of the best units in the game because his damage is very fixed, yada yada yada, but it is a powerful thing to have access to if you have the resources to follow it and your roster can afford an additional thing like that. I also just think he's really funny because he does the big ho-ho-ho laugh, and if you've ever watched Black Cloud run X-Death, I recommend it because whenever he uses his Black Hole ability, he goes womp, and it's really good. Shout out to Black Cloud, by the way, Black Nero on YouTube, very good content creator. Probably someone most of you are already familiar with, but those of you who don't, look up Black Nero on YouTube. You might need to look up Black Nero DFO, I don't know, but well, he's pretty big at this point.
Yeah,
probably one of, if not the best.
If you type in Black Nero or even Black Cloud DFO, he'll come up. JP as well as global content, really knowledgeable, really cool guy. Follow him on YouTube. Absolutely, it's a solid subscribe. We really need to get debuffs here at least once. All right, there's one debuff. That'll work. Good thing they double.
There you go. You're covered in debuffs now. This would be great.
Yeah, they. Yeah, no, we're still good.
Did that Bane thing again?
We're breaking them out of order, but we're really not worried about it.
You want that in a fight where you want them taking turns and doing stuff. You want them to be breaking you out of order.
Yeah, join the Black Nero Discord. It's in the chat. It's the TCC. So the orb is actually really good now. I've got 4 on my EX debuff, or my EX buff, so I'm gonna LD here. Who's the next blue for both of you? Daniel has asked a great question. In general, this is a good discussion topic because horrible news. I've chugged 1 and I drank about 4 or 5 beers at this point, so I'm gonna need to take a bathroom break. VL, what's up, VL? Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna give him hell. Blart, do you think you can give us a rundown of the blues you've used and your general take on blues in general, and maybe your next blue? While I take a.
I'd be happy to.
All right,
you go
Blart,
take a quick bathroom break.
That's right, sir. Take care of it.
And also, I do want to shout out VL. You can look him up on YouTube. The letter V, the letter L, You might need to search for VODs. I don't know, how big that'll be, but fantastic content creator. Runs some really great JP stuff. Fun fact: if you've ever used the term Squex Airlines, he's the guy who came up with it. That should be worthy enough reason to sub for him if you haven't already subbed. But my philosophy on the blue armor situation, the whole thing. Well, my next blues are most definitely going to be Xdef and Xdef and Beatrix. Both of them are two of my favorite characters of the game. They're coming up. They're going to be really good, and they both profit from their armor. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I think I have just enough resources to blue both of them, so that's pretty easy. Current blues at the moment, Demon Drake is asking. Let me pull up my situation real quick. What do we got here? So my current blues are, I have blued Golbez, Strago, Edward, Queen, Agrius. Oh, just those 5. Yeah, okay, just those 5. I've gotten pretty good use out of all of them. Jesus. Yeah, basically each of those characters was a favorite. The way I approach blue armor is, it's not necessary to clear content, and so I basically only blue characters who I know I'm going to use a whole lot, because the reason you kind of use blue armor at this point is to make a specific character last longer in content. Because what it does is, it raises their caps, makes them better, makes them more useful. And so you don't need it to clear content, but you may need it to make that character more viable in the future. So, like, for instance, I run a whole lot of Golbez and a whole lot of Strago, and I don't think Strago maybe, but I don't know if I'd still be using Golbez at this point if he wasn't hitting for the amount of damage he is, thanks in part to his blue armor. And so I figure, it's a luxury, and it's a luxury that I'm only going to use on characters who I've used enough to know that I love this character so much, I want to keep using them as much as possible until they're literally no longer able to get through content. That's kind of how I approach it. So in some cases, like Edward, or soon to be Xdef or Beatrix, I already know I love the character enough that I'm going to be trying to use them as much as I can. Others, like for instance Golbez or Queen, I use the character and found after a few fights of I just keep coming back to this character. I really like how they play. I love the feeling of using them. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put some blue armor into there and keep the train going because I love it. That's kind of my philosophy on it. Hello, the gaming druggist. Welcome to the Lifestream. Happy to have you here.
What's up, gaming druggist? Welcome.
You just came, Raw. You just returned and walked right into a slap in the face from Daniel.
Where's the Blue Palom Saga, Raw? Okay, I've had enough beers at this point. I'm ready to really just get violent. It's located in the same place as your Theodore Saga, buddy. Your Theodore Saga, and my Blue Palom Saga, they're side by side in the ether. So, boom roast.
That was some girl. Would you help us arranging making Daniel's funeral arrangements? That was rough.
All right, I do need some help real quick. C and B are about to go. C, the ad, does have his recast up, so he will debuff me. The orb is healthy. I do have my summon left, but Tetris MX1 is now following. Thank you so much, Tetris. We love new faces. It's awesome to see new people coming across the stream. Thank you so much for the support. We're here every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have my summon. What should we do? What should we do here? I'm going to tell you what I think I should do.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking just Yuna. I don't know if she's still available to last stand. I don't know if that's half her health or not. Is it half your health you have to have?
Yeah, you need half your health.
So the safe thing, because he's already at 44% and I haven't summoned or used most of my LDs, I think the safe thing here is to summon and Balestra Lunge into him and then LD spam.
I think overall that's not a bad plan. First, you could just Balestra Lunge first because it's a free turn.
Do I get to go next? Oh, you're right. It is a free turn.
Yeah,
it's
instant, so you could just Balestra and then go into the summon. Keep in mind, when the ads die, the big guy gets a whole bunch of Brave. I don't know if he gets Brave reduction, just he's gonna get, he does that generate body thing he always does.
Yeah, super annoying.
Also keep in mind the Queen's AA is we were summoned now, but keep in mind Queen's AA also heals. Not that I think you'll need it. Just if later in the fight it comes up.
Yeah, I did see a really good point from Macnell today in the TCC Discord. I'm going to put the TCC logo or the TCC link
Should probably take a
again.
quick look at the unit's buffs. I think several of them are running out.
Yeah, 3 of them are about to fall off. Faith's Refuge attacked up in Bellafor's favor. So I don't need the EX, or no, I can get Bellafor's favor off this, I believe. No, I don't. Bellafor's favor is only from the EX? Yep.
Yes, it is. The overhead is from the LD.
That's right. As I was saying, Macnell made a great point about Transcendence in general, and I hope a lot of you guys who are in chat, especially some of the new people, you may be having a hard time with this. I'm having a hard time with this, and I'm like a long time player. These fights are they're the mechanics, the HP totals, everything about the fights are kind of geared towards 2 months worth of content, because these rewards will last for 2 months. You don't really have any problems, or you don't have any repercussions for waiting to beat these. An LC is only there for 2 weeks, and so it's kind of geared towards, you should have the team to beat it right now. Keith Long, 30 with the follow. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Just keep in mind that these are long-term events, and so these are a little bit. This is the end game of end game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blart, but if you're having trouble with these, get on over to the TCC Discord and get some help from some really great players. But B, don't feel bad and realize that this is a 2-month, basically an event before the next Transcendence comes out, and you're not expected to beat it right off the bat if you don't have if you currently don't have the squad to beat it. This can be tough. It's tough content, so no shame in having a hard time, no shame in asking for help. I know we would love to help you out in the TCC Discord. Blart, am I off base there?
No, I think you're right there. I want to address something Demon Drake Zaw asked in the chat, but I do want to echo what you said there and kind of tie it into that.
Right.
This is permanent content, first of all, and people say, oh, permanent content. People kind of use that as an excuse sometimes for why a fight can be hard. But in this case, like, this is supposed to be the ultimate kind of test of your roster, and it isn't necessarily supposed to be beaten day one. A lot of, like a character event, a lost chapter, a boss rush, those are all intended to be beaten within a certain amount of time with the characters that currently exist. Even more, especially the event and the boss rush, those go away. This is intended to sit here and like a newer player is supposed to eventually aspire to beating this.
Right.
They're not supposed to beat it day one. A player who showed up 3 months ago may not necessarily have the roster to beat it. It's possible because generally speaking, it's tuned for the latest characters. So if they've been using their newbie resources, they may very well be able to handle it. But it's going to be very mechanically intense because they want this to be the hardest of the hardest. I don't know if you noticed, the Reckoning is level 220, which, it's not the extra hard Shinryu fight. Little joke there.
Extra hard, all caps.
But it's a higher level than most Lufanias. It's intended to be challenging and not necessarily something you have to beat day one. You'll miss out on some tickets, but all the other rewards they're going to be there. They're not going anywhere. This is intended for you to be able to tackle at any point. Demon Drake asks, what do you say to people who shame you for having a pink plate or not whatever the new one is? And I say, what I say to those guys is, really, that's how you get your jollies. That's a big dick move right there. Shitting on someone because their mobile game accomplishment is, isn't what you think it should be. The pink plate, it's a nice rank thing. Everyone likes being able to tout their accomplishments, but it's purely cosmetic. It's purely it's not a bragging rights thing is the thing, because it's a PvE mobile game. Let's be real here. If someone's giving someone else shit because they have a different colored plate than them, I think that tells you more about the person who's giving shit than the person who's receiving it, because why? What is the purpose of giving that kind of giving that kind of shit to someone. Bro, you're a bit better at, I think, at talking about shitty people than I am. Could you please? I think we have similar thoughts on this. If you want to say, what would you say to someone who is giving someone else crap over the fact that they don't have the latest Transcendence plate, especially a day after the event drop?
Right. So you are completely correct. I am much better at shit talking, and generally hating on people than you are because you're a sweet and kind gentleman. Second off, I want to go ahead and point out before I go on this rant, I'm gonna fail here. My orb for A is at 3. Tifa's turn and then Queen's turn. Then C will go and throw some debuffs on me, but A is still gonna act again before Tifa can cleanse these debuffs. So
yeah, no, I think I think it got goofed. I went on a, I knew it. I went on 2 monologues and
I think we're dead. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Wait.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck me! Are you serious? I can pick Luna next.
Do it! Make it happen! It's the only way.
Wait.
You gotta onion knight. Oh.
Hold on. A lot of stuff's happening right now. Okay.
This isn't complicated.
I know it's not complicated, but I'm nervous. Chat, use OK call. Blah 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 blah. Orb count goes down from the call, yes, but I can change. I can put Yuna next, and she gets Yuna. Let's go. Not dead.
Just keep something in mind. Important thing to keep in mind here. Tifa has a lot of ways to jump her turn. Make sure the next thing you're doing with Tifa isn't going to give her an instant turn or jump it up or anything like that.
All right, good point. So we'll AA.
Jesus.
Okay. All right. So anyway, back to this. Well, actually, let me get out of this real quick. I'm gonna check and see.
I need to make sure Tifa isn't about to screw us before.
She is.
No, it's okay.
I can HP attack.
LD?
Will LD give her another turn? No. Good call. All right. Yeah. So let me get this as soon off, and then we will address kind of the elitism that some players face, and I think is really, really negative across the board. Let's get this as soon off and really. Oh, it'll give me 2 because Queen and Yuna have. All right. Okay. All right. So. After that incredible demonstration of strategy, that's fucking right. This is why I'm the fucking best. Anyway, sorry.
That was outstanding, I gotta say.
So, the question is, people who kind of get shit on for having a lower plate, people who get shit on for having a hard time with specific content. Listen. When someone does that, A, they're a bad person, but B, they are looking at this game through the lens of the absolute top tier player. If you're on Twitch watching this game, if you're on Discord chatting about this game, if you're on YouTube discussing this game, on Reddit discussing this game, you're probably a higher level player than the average player. And so you're surrounding yourself with some of the best of the best. This is, as Blart said, it's a PvE game. So you're playing not against other people, but you're playing against the computer all the time. And you're surrounding yourself with like really, really well-read, well-versed people. And sometimes they can be a little bit elitist about the game. Do not let that get you down. This game is supposed to be hard. Especially if you're not that top level player. If it was easy for everybody to just jump in and destroy it, what kind of, it's not a fun game to play. What were you gonna say, Blart?
Well, no, you're actually reminding me of something that I meant to put a video about. Maybe I'll talk about it later. But this game actually has a couple. People play this game for different reasons. To kind of tie to your point, it's a character collector while also being this kind of deep RPG, turn-based RPG strategy game, and so people think that people can forget that different people have different motivations and different reasons for playing the game. Some folks are playing the game because they want to collect their favorites. Others are playing because they enjoy the challenge of the the various modes. Some people, obviously, there's usually going to be an intersection where the answer is both. And so at the end of the day, I think you need to remember that people play the game for different reasons, and if someone doesn't have, like, if someone just plays this game casually for funsies, on because, well, when they're on the train or taking a dump, they want a little mobile game where they get to play their favorite
Are
Final Fantasy characters.
are taking a dump on the train.
It's entirely. I've
If
done
they're
it. I've
taking
been
a dump
I've been
on
in
the
the train
train.
bathroom playing
Right,
DFFOO. I
right.
commute
You
via
can
train, so
combine
that
both.
is exactly that's efficiency is what it is. But folks, especially, let's be real, a lot of gamer culture can be a little bit elitist and toxic in the sense that they will take this thing that is a game is generally speaking a recreation, and they will
Right.
think because they're this other person isn't everyone recreates the same way, which is not true. Some different people get their energy back from recreation in different ways. Raw life loves tailgating and going out drinking. I enjoy watching Korean dramas with my wife. Like people have different kind of ways
Way to
kind of
minimize.
blow
Way to
steam.
minimize my human experience. This is
What?
going to be a huge drama. Okay.
I'm
Yes,
just saying.
I like
All
to
I'm saying is
tailgate.
we have, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a different thing that you choose to do to get your energy back than I do.
Right. 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 I
I'm
understand.
not, and this is exactly what I'm saying. I don't go on go to Raw Life and be like, oh my god, you haven't caught the latest Hotel Del Luna? What's going on with you? Oh, were you at one of those tailgates? He doesn't come to me and say, geez, you don't even own a cooler for going to tailgates. What is this? Oh man, you spend your time watching K dramas. What a lame like shitting on someone for how they choose to relax and spend their time is a stupid thing to do. I think there
Yep.
is I think there's going to be a small group of people who do want to be like good at the game at high level, and for one reason or another, they're having struggles. The roster isn't there. Maybe they're newer and they haven't quite grasped some of the nuances of the game. I played the game for over a year before I learned that bosses unbreak after every 5 actions. That took a long time to. The game doesn't convey a lot of information very well, but then there's going to be that small group, and they're improving, they're learning, they're working on it. But to take a shit on someone because they don't have the same kind of ranking or bragging rights as you
Right.
is, to me, incredibly small-minded and kind of, like I said, speaks to the quality of person that person is. So, Drake, if you're... I think I might have lost you here, but I hope I didn't. But yeah, that's kind of my view
Right.
on this.
No, you're totally right, and it's a game, and you should be having fun. And if you're seeing people hate on other people about this game, you may be in the wrong community. If it's is B about to go kill somebody? No, we're good. We're good. We're good. You may be in the wrong community, and keep in mind there are a lot of great communities out there that you can become a part of. TCC, the Crystal Chronicles, is an option, as for sure. We have a lot of brand new people there, a lot of long-term players there. The game's supposed to be fun, and if you're not having fun, you need to reevaluate your relationship with the game or your relationship with the community as a whole. Every community is going to have shitty people. Okay, this community is no different.
Rod, just quick cut you off. I want to make sure how is the HP requirement? Do we make it?
There's no HP requirement, bro. It's a Transcendence.
I don't know about that.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
good. I think
You
the
scared the
reckoning
shit
has
out
a
of me, dude.
the reckoning has a 3,000 hit point requirement. That's why I asked, because I know that one does have a requirement, so I didn't know if the other two did.
Well, we do
Sorry
have
about
another
that.
question.
Scared me
We
for
do
a
have
second.
another situation going on. B and C, the ads are about to move. They're both looking pretty dangerous. Oh, never mind. They're aiming at Queen, who's in her immortal state, so I can just single target into A and hopefully kill it, right? Because I don't really need to worry about C and B because they're single targeting into Queen, who's immortal. So AoE would be wasted here. Go ahead and try to kill it.
If you still have an LD, you could do Cheer into Energy Ray, and that would do it.
I do not have
I think Energy Ray, if you max her Brave with Cheer, will actually do more damage.
Okay. And also break in case we can kill it.
Yeah, so it's all good in all respects.
Oh yeah, we're good. So hey, that's our little rant for the stream. I really, really appreciate a lot of corners of this community because there are a lot of people who really, really enjoy to help people out. New people, people who aren't as, at the level where once you're really deep in this community for a while, you may lose sight of the fact that, hey, all these like hardcore players, they're hardcore players. Like, they play this game all the time, and they're really good at it. So, you may be struggling with a specific fight. You may be struggling with multiple fights in a row. Don't lose, don't lose hope, and don't get really down on yourself. Reach out to the rest of the community and say, hey, I'm struggling. Here's the teams I have. Here's the team comp. I'm trying to make work. What's the idea? I've played this game for a long time. If you've ever seen me on stream, I am drinking pretty heavily typically when we stream, so that's part of it. But also, when I'm not on stream, I'll fail a fight a couple times in a row to learn what works, to learn what's happening, to learn what the fight's really looking for, and how my roster can translate into this fight, what they're wanting or what they're needing from you, and how I can still make it work based on my roster. Everybody's roster is different, and there's no shame in failing. Fail a bunch of times until you learn. And if you fail so many times you're not having fun and you don't see yourself beating it, go and ask somebody, man. There's people like Blart. Don't ask me, because I will laugh in your face and spit on you and say that you're a trash. I'm just kidding. No. I will help you too. But like Blart, people like that, they're all around here, man, and they will love to guide you and help you out.
As a case in point to that, look at what we just did here. This was a collective experience. We had folks. This was a co-op clear of this fight.
I literally, as a long-term
except for
player,
Daniel. Daniel,
it was a full crazy roster. Like, I've got a lot of units. I have a lot of BTs. I've got a lot of LDs. I have a great roster. I've been playing this game for 3 years. I still failed the first fight. Was I paying perfect attention? No, but I failed the first run, and that just happens. Don't let it get you down. Don't let jerks get you down. Have a good time playing this. This is a game, and I love to see people having fun. I love to see people having a good time with the game, man. Everett Epic said, Raw will teach you what not to do. Yeah, that's actually a great point. If you want to watch our streams every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can learn pretty quickly what not to do. And then you bring that to the fight and say, oh, I saw Raw Life fucking die to the orb really fast. Let's not do that. And you'll learn. Got to be real with you, Blart, before I pass it over to you. I just started the other Crucible. It is 10:11. Hopefully we can get through this Crucible with Vaughn, Trey, and Setzer. But I just started it because I wasn't paying attention, and fuck it.
Yeah, no, go for it. This fight I find, especially if you bring Setzer, is a lot easier. Have you done Yuffie's LD boards?
I have, because I actually already had her ready to go. I had her in the EX era, so she was all ready, just waiting for her LD. And as soon as I pulled it, I took her through her LD boards and character boards. So she's maxed. My Yuffie's actually maxed. She doesn't have perfect arts, but she's got good arts. So before I underestimate this again, we're gonna try to rush through this so that we can get out of here. But what do I need to know about these guys? I remember these guys from lots of fights. I've got Setzer to freeze them. I've got Vaughn for just huge damage, and I have I have Trey for the orb.
Yeah, no, the one thing with this fight that makes me a little nervous with this team is they have a bunch of Brave Gain stuff. I brought Yuffie, and she completely invalidates the entire threat of the fight, really, because the two threats of this fight are a fairly tight orb that requires range damage. So, like, you don't want Vaughn going too frequently, and not all of Setzer's attacks are ranged, which you have to keep in mind. But Trey generally handles the orb really well.
So but yeah, Yuffie's
really.
My ass, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I cleared this with I swapped Vaughn. I used Setzer, Yuffie, and Trey, and like clapped it. With
Right.
Vaughn, it should be fine too.
Well, looks like we're having a lot of fun. We're gonna get through this
Yeah,
one at least before we get
I
to
believe in us.
Crucible. We'll smash this. I do want to point out you mentioned Dave's comment. Dave asked if he could share some thoughts. Like Bart said, we're still getting our sea legs, but we would love to hear what you have to say in chat. We'll go through it. And his response was, "What happened with Mino?" So Mino is a great friend of the pod. I hope he's listening, or I hope he's not listening, but I do want to mention Mino is a fantastic member of the community. If you don't know how he works, how he operates, he may come off as abrasive. He may come off as, I'll even be super controversial right now and say he may come off as elitist, but he's not. He's a great guy, and he's a good part of the community. He cares about the community, and he comes off in a certain way. I think that's on purpose, but he's a great guy. So I don't know what you mean, what happened with him, but Mino's good.
To
Mino's
clarify,
good. I hope
no,
he
no, no,
doesn't
to
hear
clarify
this.
what he means by that, right? To clarify, Dave was asking if he could actually join us in the voice chat to share some thoughts, and I explained that we're still not really at the point where we're ready to have other guests on. Although last week we did have Mino as a somewhat unexpected surprise guest, owing in part to the fact that we know him kind of pretty closely from his stuff with TCC and with the Ranting Hour, and we kind of knew that we could kind of have him on. And
I've completely misread the situation.
he's kind of a known quantity. That's what we meant there. Sorry about that, Dave. I was trying to handle that in chat.
Dave,
this was nothing about.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've completely misread.
So that's what that was about. Yeah, but basically, just he joined us last week, and that was kind of a one-time thing that we're probably not going to be doing too much. But we're not really at the point where we're quite comfy having other folks on. We're, as I've said in previous live streams, we're still kind of finding our sea legs, so to speak. We're still kind of getting our balance as far as being a regular community stream for the DFFOO gaming community.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate you asking. We do one day hope to have some folks joining us on here, some friends, some colleagues, some co-gamers. Just we're still not quite at that point, and I appreciate your understanding there.
Sky Splits in the chat. What's up, Sky Splits? I appreciate you stopping by. We absolutely clapped Left Crucible. Left Crucible, no problem. Super easy. I'm a god level player, so that was simple. And now we're taking on Right Crucible and just having a good old time. How you been? How you doing? Look at all those rainbows. Look at all those rainbows, man.
A lot of rainbows. I gotta say, Setzer is a blast to play. I'm really enjoying him. And yes, C-Sam is right. Raw completely clapped the fight. You can see it on the VOD, him completely destroying the fight in one shot without any stress or any assistance. He just kind of...
That was the main thing. Honestly,
the entire...
That's what impressed me the most about my own play. I required no assistance. I just knew what to do. Just banged it out.
He was doing stuff, and like me in the chat were just like, "Whoa, that was really smart. That was a clutch move."
Yeah,
dude,
is that gonna work? What's he doing?
That's wild. This is some next level stuff.
Could this work? Sure enough, fucking worked. That's what happens when you're dealing. Where's my camera? I'm gonna look at my camera. That's what happens when you're dealing with a prodigy. Okay. I love you guys. I love Blart. Love Zoey. But the real thing that's happening here right now is a live look-in at Michael Jordan at his prime. You're watching the greatest current player of a video game play that video game. So don't want to get too serious, but just letting you guys know this is it. This is as good as it gets. So Blart, am I wrong?
This is basically the apex. I should just
This is the apex. This is as good as it gets. So we're at 89 on B. A, we'll never know because
now that we're actually now, it is occurring to me now that we're coming back to it. We're past the flans. I'm kind of I'm out of the zone. I've kind of cooled down, and I'm remembering that a second person did redeem the talk with an accent. I don't think you ever actually did that.
I did. We did
You
one.
did?
Yeah, we did one for Coat Mello, and then we did a second one. It wasn't quite as long, but
Okay, I just want to make sure that you're not shortchanging our beloved
viewing
chat member
audience.
here.
Yeah, thanks.
Exactly.
So much.
He did use the same accent, though. I don't know if that counts.
Daniel said I
We
used
so
the
we
same accent. That's the only accent I know, guys.
I mean, I disagree based on my knowledge of you, but we really need to lay down some ground rules for how this accent thing works. We'll come. You know what, guys, chat. We're going to workshop it a bit and come back to you because that's it's still a work in progress here.
Yeah, the chug a beer challenge was unlimited at first. Obviously, that came with some really dangerous side effects. So we changed that. The talk with an accent has not been abused yet, but it seems like that we're well on the way to that being abused. So that may need to be altered here in the future. Ferrum laser. Wait, do I have any heals on this team? Holy shit, I don't have any heals.
You do not. That's why I was going to try to warn you that
I don't have any
basically the way you're going to get through this fight. The thing is, the only HP damage these guys do is from self battery. So if you bring Yuffie, you're basically safe the entire fight once you've EX'd them. If you bring Setzer, I mean he has his freeze jokers, which do the same thing. So it's just about timing the freeze jokers to prevent them from killing you, basically.
So their all attack is going to be a Ferrum laser.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this one, and then the next time they're both in all attack, I will freeze them down. I'll freeze them up.
Yes, with their tail up, of course. If the tail's down, it's not an HP attack.
These guys don't seem too tanky, so I may actually burst again a little early with Vaughn. Once I get some debuffs up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 frame debuffs. That means I can still throw up Jack at least. Why Odin summon if you're not going to get it? Look, a lot of people... Let's talk about summons real quick, because there was a good conversation in chat. A lot of people were talking about whether summons matter, blah, blah, blah. Odin is good if you take the damage to activate his elemental weakness up. Odin has a base 20. What is it? Is it 15% or 20% defense down aura at all times? Am I wrong?
It is a 15% defense down.
Okay. I mean, whether you're going to take HP damage or not, for me, especially at this point where so much overflow is built into kits, stop me if I'm wrong. I think Odin, even when you're not going to activate his blessing, is still, in a lot of situations, really good. 15% defense down all the time, stacking on top of what other defense down you bring. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I would wonder if this team on its own could use like more Max Brave, since Setzer's the only one I think with any Max Brave armor stuff or aura stuff. And you have Setzer for rainbows, but at the same time, not every hit's going to be a rainbow, so having those other hits hit harder is not a bad thing.
Right. I think I'm gonna save the freeze joker still. I think I'm still good. All right, so Dave, our friend Dave in chat has just dropped a soliloquy of sorts. Blart, do you want to tackle that?
Sure thing. So Dave, I'm just going to read this out for folks who are listening and not watching the VOD. You say that you have a lot of respect for the content creators and the community, but sometimes you do feel ashamed to be a part of that community, such as with the Vincent LD controversy and how there was kind of an uproar about that, and you felt that there should have been more of a sense of gratitude about it. And I get that. I understand. I think, as I said, there can be some rough elements of any any community, gaming communities tend to seem to attract a bit of a certain personality type in some ways, I guess, because there's a level of competitiveness or something. But I don't think you're wrong saying that there should be a sense of gratitude. I think the thing is they're different opinions, and I don't think they're necessarily invalid opinions about you know when a thing comes out. When let's say Square Enix releases a character, Vincent LD is a great example. They give us this GL first new unit. It's a fan favorite. Everyone loves it. Everyone's been looking forward to this unit being good, and it does stuff. And so their expectations folks have, and there's kind of this tension, this dynamic tension between looking at it and let's say it didn't exceed expectations, which is at the time that Vincent came out, folks felt it did not. There is a tension to be had between. You're right. There's room for gratitude there because we are being given something kind of fun and neat, a new toy. We're being basically given a free toy. I mean, free. You have to spend gens on it. You know what I mean? But we're being given a nice little surprise gift. And so there is. You're right. There is a need for a sense of gratitude there, and I think sometimes that can be a little bit lost with a sense of over a sense of entitlement. At the same time, this is a relationship that we have with Square Enix as a community. We are the players, they are the company, and there's kind of a symbiosis there. Obviously, they need us, and we need them for the experience of playing this game to happen, for the game to continue. And part of that is feedback. There is a way to provide that feedback because at the end of the day, it's not our job to just take whatever we are given. If we're given a present, but the present is kind of a crappy present, we are allowed to say, well, thank you for the present. Could have been better. It's kind of it's if you're let's have it this. Let me put it this way: if your birthday rolls around at work, right, and your work gives you a $15 Starbucks gift card for your birthday, or to make the example extreme, let's say it's a $5 gift card. Let me just make it real. Your boss for your birthday gives you a $5 gift card on your birthday. As a company policy sort of thing. That's the company policy is every work on their birthday gets a $5 gift card. You're allowed to express, okay, depending on the place you work in, some workplaces are more toxic than this, but you are, allowed to say like, hey, this is, this policy is kind of on the, is kind of maybe a little bit on the stingy side of things. I don't know if a birthday card is maybe the best way to be drawing this metaphor out, but I've kind of dug my grave already. There's a dynamism there. I mean, obviously, something like a father isn't going to say to his kid, "Wow, you got me a tie for Father's Day. How original! Fuck you!" Like that's not going to happen. But there is kind of a dynamic tension, I think, and the Vincent was a very interesting case because the expectation was super high, very popular unit, very hype unit. Oh my God, Vincent, he's so old, but we wanted this for so long. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Oh, it's a surprise. There's so much hype was built into it, and Demon Drake is mentioning that he's super hyped unit, and so everyone had a very high expectation, and it didn't meet that expectation. So it created this thing where you're right. There's a need for gratitude, and sometimes in this community that is replaced by a sense of entitlement, which creates this negativity. And I understand you feeling uncomfortable with that. Conversely, there's room for a positive feedback, a constructive criticism, and feedback intended to create positive change that can happen.
Right.
The Kadaj thing is probably a recent and good example of that, where it became a very vocal thing, where people were not shitting on Squex for the sake of like, oh, Squex is the worst. It's just people are saying, hey, there's an issue here, and we would like it addressed, or at least or acknowledged, and it was,
Right.
and that was really cool, and that kind of turned into a good thing because that I think was a very positive thing for the relationship between the community and the server. I've been talking for a long time.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I've been
totally
thinking about it
agree.
for a long time.
No, I
But
totally agree with everything you said because when it comes down to it, we're customers. Kind of the one thing that I think a lot of people lose in this whole narrative about the Vincent, which I had hoped we moved past, but we're customers, so we do retain a bit of we retain a bit of a right to kind of voice our frustrations with things. But at the same time, I think when it comes to the Vincent situation, a lot of it was over exaggerated. A lot of the things you heard may have happened. I think it was kind of well documented. They actually didn't happen at all, and we won't go into any of that because that person doesn't deserve any free press. But some of the stuff you heard may have happened didn't even happen. And number two, any kind of negativity that does come out of the community, we need to make sure it's constructive. As a community, we need to make sure that we are constructively pointing out issues that we see in the game that we pay for because we have a right there, but in a respectful and constructive way. Main Core does have a feedback option, a feedback thread where you can drop some. Blart, what were you going to say?
Well, I think you hit upon a great point. Fundamentally, all relationships are built on three things: trust, respect, and communication.
Damn.
And so,
Damn. Whoa. Yeah.
So I think, Dave, to I guess get the core of your issue, without going into another long rant, because I seem to be going to a lot of those, and I'm sorry for that. I think there's a mixture of, the gratitude you're looking for, I think, is important, because that's part of that respect. And trust, sets up these expectations, but it's a necessary piece of keeping the relationship going. And communication is a necessary piece of it to keep that positive feedback loop. Well, it's not a loop really, but basically to keep that feedback going, so that Squex knows what the players want, so they can give the players what they want, so the players continue, buying into the game, both literally and figuratively. And so I hope that kind of addresses things. I know we kind of talked for a while, so I'd love to hear what you're thinking about that, and I hope this is a helpful answer for you.
Yep. I don't know if you're even still here, but
I will definitely say I have had similar kind of feelings as you were, like, during build-ups in the community. I've had this feeling like, this feels shitty. Do I really want to be a part of this? And I've endured it, and at this point I think I'm at the point where, like, provided there isn't anything scandalous to the point of, like, being cartoonish, I think I'd be able to weather pretty much anything. But, like, I definitely get that. I understand that sense of fatigue that can come from an outcry, and so yeah, I don't think you're off base for feeling that way, and I hope that I've added some kind of nuance that can help you at least contextualize some of the stuff that we've seen in the past and will probably see in the future. Because there's an ebb and a flow, and ideally, what we ideally will see is the folks who are in the community will gravitate towards being trusting, being respectful, and being communicative, and the folks who can't.
He's still here.
Nice. The folks that, you're right, Dave. Sorry, I see you there. All you're saying is that it could have been handled in a better manner, and you're right. There was a huge hullabaloo about it, and it got overblown because of the expectations. And yeah, no. At the end of the day, you're right. It did get overdone.
We don't want to misconstrue our responses. I know we both kind of rambled, but no, we totally agree with you, Dave. We absolutely agree with you. I have not checked my debuffs. Let me be very clear. Sorry, Dave. We'll get back real quick. Let me be very clear with you guys. I don't know if you noticed. I have not checked my debuffs one time. I'm running a team of Vaughn, Setzer, and Trey, and I have not checked my debuffs a single time. I think we're still going to be okay, but just wanted to point that out. But yeah, Dave, we actually agree with you, man. Could have absolutely been handled better. I also appreciate you bringing up that thought. It's a great discussion point. But yeah, could have been handled better. We got an audio.
Yeah, Xroth7th saying that Raw's too quiet and I am too loud. Guys, is that the experience you've been having tonight? Are we having that trouble again?
Yeah, like we've been saying, we're working on creating the best possible product to put out there for you guys. We really appreciate you hanging out. And any positive, constructive criticism you can give us is great. It looks like maybe my voice, could be my mic. My voice is too quiet.
Move it closer to your face, and maybe if you can lower my volume in Discord as well on your end.
Yeah, let's try that.
Sorry, X-Roz. This is we used to joke that it's not a Blart and Raw stream if there aren't audio issues, and without Zoey here, this is most definitely the case. I have been listening back to the VODs, and we're still trying to figure out why I'm so much louder than everyone else. Honestly, I should probably just be whispering. My wife would love that. She's trying to go to bed, and she's like, "Why?"
Yeah, we got to wrap up. We got to wrap up here. Once we finish this fight, Shit, if we finish it. I
believe.
We'll probably have to wrap up and we'll come back at it another time. Why is, hold on. What the fuck has happened? Why did Jack just hit for weakness damage? I mean for, resisted damage? Anybody?
I think, well, these guys have these guys are resistant to melee and automatically counter any actual melee attacks that aren't calls with, like, an instant kill move.
Oh, okay, so it's just melee. Okay. Woo! Scared the shit out of me. Let me try to lower Blart's voice just real quick before we finish up. I think I've been kind of floating through this one with this ultimate team. One night this week, we will attempt the Reckoning, I'm sure, on stream. Oh, I've just Brave attacked. Oh my god, I've just Brave attacked with Setzer on accident. Christ in heaven. What have I done?
Well, at least it's good for the orb, right? Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to use my, like, ASMR low voice. Let me know if this sounds better.
Porky Panko did say Blart ASMR. Yeah, his Brave attack isn't the worst Shadow, but I was actually trying to change something in Discord and accidentally clicked the wrong button. I've got a positive feedback or constructive criticism for the dev team here. I know I've been kind of sleepwalking through this fight. I have not seen the HP on A one time. If you notice, sets of buffs. Some fights are worse than others with this, but Setzer's buffs this entire fight have completely obscured A's HP. Luckily, he's obviously red, so he must be 29 or lower. And you can always check boss's health by long clicking on him. He's at 27. But constructive criticism here, fix that. Just fix that. I don't know how you do it with the camera angle, whatever it takes. I really need to be able to see... Oh shit, I haven't even used my calls yet. We should be good here. But yeah, do whatever it takes. We gotta fix that. I gotta be able to see the HP at all times. We are getting kind of close here with the orb. 5% or 5 on the orb. A's about to move to take it to 3. I'm gonna have to hit A with a range. No, he's gonna get a trap. That's Brave range, right? Yeah.
That is indeed. That's why Trey's so good here. I do recommend trying to break B because you want to crit him out of that blue aura.
Seven hit group Brave. He's got 77k Brave. Do I have my rainbow on?
I don't know.
Fixed dice. This should be rainbow on every hit. Everybody's saying red card. I don't know why. Oh, it's a delay. That's right. Red card does delay, and it'll check the orb. Hey, this is a community stream. This is a community team right here. Thank you, guys. We're still in a bad position with the orb. We got 5 and 3. B is about to move. I need to hit both of them with a Brave attack that's ranged right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and refresh the LD buff because I'm not checking that.
I'd actually recommend using his skill. I'd actually recommend using his skill 1, possibly.
Skill 1 is at charge 2.
Because that means every turn it's going to deal range damage to both of them and boost the orb.
That's right. Vaughn does not have any range damage. A is making me very, very, very nervous. He'll move. It'll go to 3. B will move. It'll stay the same. A will move. It'll go to 1. We lost, guys. Setzer will go. Raise it a little. Oh, no.
Keep in mind that raining arrows is going to be happening every turn.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that's right.
That's why he's so good.
Yeah, the I keep forgetting about the damn uh, trade debuffs. Heyman said, what did I miss for 2 hours? Some really good conversation, Heyman. Honestly, we beat the left tier.
Popular
First try,
vote.
second try. It was the first try. But and then we moved on to the right tier or the right crucible, and we're doing pretty well here. But situation is that we've been having. I'm gonna go ahead and freeze Joker because I still have 2 left. Holy shit. We've been having a lot of good discussion tonight, man. Chris blessed us with a raid. We got some new faces in here. We got some old faces in here. And we're generally having a good time. We're about to wrap up here once I finish this, and we'll have to come back to the reckoning, but thanks for asking.
Needless to say, on Trey's next turn, you'll probably want to get skill 2.
I think we're good. 6/6 orbs. Jack debuff about to fall off. Trey LD still on. Krasame, plenty of turns. 2 turns of freeze with the freeze Joker left. I don't know what the generics are here at the end. Let's check them. It's going to be defense down and blind. Oh, good job. Good job, Vaughn. We will not refresh that LD. I mean, that freeze debuff. We'll just go ahead and LD. So I think we're going to get through both of these.
I think you got this. Just don't forget with Setzer, you'll want to refresh his EX buff next turn.
Yeah. I still have no idea how much A has. I mean, this is really bad design here. Respectfully, someone should point this out. I'm sure it's been pointed out before. This entire fight, A has been...
Daniel's right. It's questionable UI design.
questionable. Yeah. Grand Delta is off, I think. So I think I need to use that and not skill 2. Yeah, I need to use Grand Delta to refresh that buff. But
Okay.
skill 2 does add another follow-up on their turns. Right?
Yeah.
Or not on their turns, but every 2 actions.
In 2 actions, it'll add 2 to the orb, which will be nice since the next couple of turns aren't going to be doing anything for the orb. I think it might be safer to use the skill 2. Also,
All right,
don't forget to
hold
hit
on.
A at some point for the crit.
A is at 4. White World will bring it to 3. B will move. A will stay at 3. Setzer can at least pump it up a little bit, as well as Trey's buffs. Grand Delta is not imputed.
He's saying it's not important.
Grand Delta is not important here. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
because you
all
don't
it
need
really
an
does
instant
for you
break.
here is
Yeah,
it just gives you some break, which is better than nothing. It's better. It's certainly good to have if you have the time to drop it, but I think it's best to prioritize his base skills since those give you off-turn range damage.
Wait, oh fuck. Do I have a red? Oh, Vaughn is red. Holy shit.
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Vaughn is red.
Yeah, before you hit red card, keep in mind his EX buff's about to fall off.
Will the orb go up on both their turns? Yeah, because I've got firewall.
The trap.
on both of them. Yeah. So yeah, we'll refresh that buff, and we should be home free. What's the turn count here? Surely not 50 or anything crazy. 75. Yeah, we're all right.
I can't wait to go into the bedroom and go to my wife who's trying to sleep right now and whisper to her, "Oh, I've cleared both crucibles."
I guarantee you she
smacked.
wakes up and rolls over and says, fantastic. fantastic news. That I think you should definitely do that, actually. Yeah, because she will
Next
be.
next week Zoe will be back, but Blart will be gone.
Yeah, next week Zoey will be back and Blart will be completely gone from the entire community. Rest in peace. Are they gonna get trapped on the next turns? Yeah, the LD buff hits them.
Yeah, no, you're fine there. Just keep spamming that white whirl.
I gotta make sure what his percentage is at.
Unless does he have like a call that we haven't used? I don't think so.
There is multiple calls we haven't used. Not on him, but we didn't even use Gabranth's LD call. Setzer, I don't even know who he has on his call. That one's at 4, but he's got freeze. Oh, he doesn't have freeze on it anymore. Shit. That's gonna raise the orb. Oh shit. Oh fuck me. What has he done? Oh, he's okay. Fuck, that was scary as shit for a second. 4 and 4, 5% and less than 5%. So we're gonna white whirl into him. We're going to range damage on the other guy. Or should we freeze Joker? 2%. We just don't want to fuck this up because we're ready to wrap this up and take the W. 2% and 2%. I think that freeze Joker should be fine considering they have.
Yeah, if you freeze and then hit them with Trey, I think you're going to be fine. Because you're going to be able to put raining arrows up on his turn. That'll keep the orb in check. I love those rainbows, they're so cool.
We actually need to kill them on the next 2 turns. I don't think it should be an issue because they're at 1% each. But they're at 2 orbs each, and he's at 1%.
Trey, just use Trey's skill 1. Trust me, just use Trey's skill 1, it'll be okay.
Listen, Blart, I do not want to fuck this up here. Oh my god. Oh no, oh yeah, it raised the orb. I'm so dumb. And then we Prismatic Flash and we win.
Pretty much, yeah.
This almost definitely should finish it. Holy shit, they are tanky little bastards, aren't they? Tail raised. Too bad, buddy. It's too late for you. That's how we do it. Guys, this has been...
Be off turn.
This has been a sensational stream. We really appreciate all the support. Everybody showing up. Monday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be here bringing you some good runs, some good conversation. X-Roz 7th is now following. Thank you so much, man. We hope to see you next week. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. This VOD is probably 2 hours at this point.
It's a bit over, but I gotta say, guys, thank you very much for showing up. We've really enjoyed having you here. We've had some great conversation. I was honestly
really
pretty worried with Zoe not able to make it tonight, but this has actually been a really, really fun stream, and I'm looking forward to next week when all 3 of us are together, and you guys are all here with us. We're gonna have a great time. So, yeah, Raw, any closing thoughts?
That's it, man. We just really appreciate you guys showing out. We'll be back next Monday. Zoe will be back with us, and at some point this week, check the Twitch or the Twitter. We'll tackle this. Dave 87787. Oh, Dave with the sub. Thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate that. We appreciate that. Thank you for some of your great discussion points tonight. As Blart kind of mentioned, without Zoe here, we were a little worried we wouldn't have quite as great of a turnout or a show, but you guys really, really overdid yourselves, and we appreciate it
Really
very, very much.
Cool.
We will see you next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blart, any closing thoughts before I end the stream?
I will just say, remember, vote for Blart.
Vote for Blart and Raw as his running mate. See you guys next week. Appreciate it.
Adios.